you can see in the wilderness, I'm outdoors today. Why am I outdoors? Why not? I was sick of my room. The world is so big. It's so much bigger than those four walls. You gotta go outside. So today we are outside. I just love to be in the forest sometimes. It's the smell, the chillness of it, the omniscient sounds. If you hear me sniffling, it's because it's really cold here in Sweden. Today we are talking about my winter everyday carry. I've gotten many requests to do this updated version of my spring everyday carry. There are gonna be a lot of things that are similar, but some things are different because the season itself is different. Duh. I'm very excited to get into it. I've made a map mine because that's my latest obsession. This is it. Do you see it? If you see me looking down at my notebook, that's what's going on. I'm so excited. Hopefully I get to film this before I turn into a popsicle. Alright, spring everyday carry and winter everyday carry and all year everyday carries. The star of the show is my bag. The bag remains the same. If it's not broken, don't fix it. This is my everyday bag. This is her. She is so pretty. She's so beautiful. It's my Marge Sherwood shoulder bag in the Poplin edition, I believe. But yeah, so that remains unchanged. It's my favorite everyday bag. There's no separation between. It's like an extension of myself. It's like another arm that I have. This bag goes with me everywhere, every season, every day. Doesn't matter. She is going with me. This is gonna be an everyday carry for me getting ready to face any adventure. Could be going out for a coffee with a friend. Could be going on a walk by myself, could be errands, like a day that I don't know really where I'm gonna end up, but I have multiple places to go to. I might take transportation, I might take the metro or the bike. General day, everyday carry. Let's get into it. Let's get started. First things first, I still always carry with me my Ricoh GR2 in the silver edition. This is my camera. I bring her with me so that I don't fall into the black vacuum that is my phone. I'm very mindful and I pick the technology that I bring along to my side quests, to my daily adventures very, very carefully because I don't want it to be the kind of technology that will just steal my attention, steal my time, and steal my soul. I always bring this Ricoh. It's very small. It's a pocket digital camera, and I love that it has the film simulation feature, kind of similar to the Fujifilm X100V, but also very beginner user friendly. I love her so much. And the silver edition is so rare. It just brings me joy. If I want to take a picture of something, instead of reaching for my phone, I just use her. Yeah, this is perfect for an everyday carry because of her size. I do use my phone very, very often to take pictures, but if there's something that I want to take my time, for example, if I'm out with my friends or if there's something very significant that caught my eye, I do love having my camera with me, and it's so small and light and pocketable and reliable. So it just makes sense to carry it with me. Although I do take some pictures with my phone, the film simulation in this camera is so beautiful. The colors are definitely not something that I can really, really replicate with my phone. I don't know, it's just like, it's so romantic. I love digital film simulation cameras because I'm impatient. I want to see my picture immediately. So I've had my run with analog photography, with film. I still love film, but for everyday life, digital film simulation camera. Special camera for special pictures because life itself is special. Next, let's go in order. I'm gonna do technology first. We have the camera, and now there is a new addition to my winter everyday carry. We have here this Sony e-reader. It's the first e-reader that I have ever owned. I've never felt the need to have one. I started thinking about getting an e-ink e-reader just as a little experiment. I still love to bring books with me, but I thought maybe there is a way for me to find an e-reader that would fit my needs. I wanted something very specific if I had to experiment and see if an e-reader would work for me. First of all, I wanted it to be e-ink, and I wanted it to be no browsing, no Wi-Fi, no access to society, to the world. The only world that I can have access to is the world within the books. So I wanted something very minimalistic, very simple, restricted to a single purpose, which would be to read books, and that's it. Basically no possibility for distractions. So I did my research and I got her on eBay. I got this Sony e-reader. It's called a Sony 2009 PRS 600 good e-reader. It's also called the Touch Edition e-reader. Sony back in the day had a lineup of e-readers frequently coming out. Before the e-reader business, the industry was taken over by Kindle and Kobo and something else. The Sony lineup didn't have a strong voice in that sector, in that industry. So this is one of the last within the Sony lineup. It's a 6-inch e-reader in this beautiful silver color. It also has the stylus, but it is a touch e-ink e-reader. So I've tested it for the past week, and so far I really love it. I love that there's no internet in it. It's also very easy to get books on here because it has these two slots, one for a micro SD and one for a regular sized SD card. Regular size, I mean, this is big for these days, but you know what I mean. There she is. I still do, and I still love carrying books with me, but I think that this Sony e-reader will be specifically for really, really, really heavy and thick books that otherwise I would hesitate to bring with me, and that would slow my reading pace. It would just slow everything. This is gonna be its purpose. Like what I have on here now is The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky, which I haven't read. If I had it in the e-reader version without this possibility for browsing or internet or any distractions, I think that would work very well for me because it would mean that I could still easily access this book. For really thick books like War and Peace, I think this would be perfect because if I brought War and Peace with me, I don't think I could bring my journals, and that would be a disaster. This is no Kierkegaard. It's not either or. I need to have both space for my books and for my journals. If I'm reading a really long, thick book, I might just carry it with me on this Sony 2009 e-reader. But if, say, at the moment I was reading something really short, like, for example, The Metamorphosis by Kafka, I don't think I would have it on the e-reader. I think I would just carry the book itself with me. I love that the e-reader and the camera are both silver because I just love to have a digital ecosystem that is cohesive in design. The Sony also does come, I think, in red, white, and black, but I made it a point to find on eBay a silver edition so that it could kind of go together with my Ricoh camera. E-reader for big, chunky books that are too heavy to carry and that take up too much space. While we stay on the topic of technology, this is also part of my everyday carry. This remains unchanged. It's my phone. I use a red iPhone SE. I think this is the second generation. I really want my technology to last me a very, very long time, and I still have the same phone because it works perfectly. I have no reason to change it year to year if it serves me my purpose, and especially I love to have a phone that is a bit older because that means I can do less, or that it's like a bit slower. I've read that right now in 2025 the iPhone 5C, like there's issues with carriers. If that was not an issue, I think I would have picked that instead of the iPhone SE. This is the oldest I could go with it being still completely functional for everyday life in this year. The technology part especially is so important because I don't want to just like be walking and staring at my phone or be on the metro staring at my phone. I love to just be immersed in reality, and I do that by carrying technology in addition to this phone that is single purpose, so that when I do that single purpose, I'm completely immersed in it. The last member of the technology category in my winter everyday carry is my digital audio player. This Sony NWA55 in the color Twilight Red with a light blue case and just like Apple earbuds. This is so wonderful. The battery is like incredible. Also, another good thing about these single purpose technology devices like pocket camera, the digital audio player, and the e-reader, if the battery is in good condition, the battery lasts so long because you're using it for just one thing. Like I find that when I used to use my phone for everything, for listening to music and books and for writing down things in my notes app, for taking pictures all the time, when I use my phone for everything and anything, the battery just dies so much sooner because I'm glued to my phone. But these single purpose technology devices, their battery life is usually so good. As I was saying that the battery on these old devices is so good, my old camcorder died, but that's because it wasn't charged properly. So now, change of angle. It's the next day. It was just too cold. It was too cold for me. It was too cold, so I had to go home. Thank goodness that my bedroom is nice and warm. The show must go on. I don't have the biggest music library in my digital audio player, but I do love to have just a few albums that I seasonally really love. I love listening to the Mariahs in the winter. I love listening to West Side Gun in the winter, some Amy Winehouse. I I pick my favorite seasonal picks and I make sure that they're ready to go in my digital audio player. I basically curate my personal soundtrack. I am not only mindful about the technology that I bring with me, but I also love to carry lots of paper. I carry with me still my Moleskine Pocket Daily Journal. I use this as a diary. It's for short form memory keeping kind of entries. Rather than being productivity focused, I use this as a true diary, a log, kind of like a logbook. Sometimes I write down what I did kind of as in a list form. The pages kind of look like this. I don't like to carry my actual journal around for long form entries because it's much bigger and it's more personal, so I just bring with me my diary. I use this with a Leuchtturm pen loop. This is still one of my favorite pens. Also bring with me my Filofax Mini. The Filofax Mini is the perfect size for an everyday carry, basically anything. A journal, a notebook, a planner, an agenda, whatever it is. I use it more like an agenda because this is more productivity focused. If my diary is more for memories and short form entries, this is more like a proper collection of lists of things to do. When I leave the house, I love to know what's going on, what I have to do as a reminder so that I don't have to use my phone. So instead, I just write down a list of things to do, like a grocery list. So yeah, I leave the house with my list of things to do, and they don't sell this edition anymore, but you can still find it on eBay, I believe. I use it with the Kaweco Lilliput brass pen in the fine, actually in the extra fine tip. The last but most important part of this analog category is this teeny tiny notepad that I carry with me everywhere. It's the Rhodia number 10. I carry this because it's a perfect grocery list size, but also sometimes I'm in a situation in which I want to give someone a piece of paper. It happened to me that someone needed street directions and I just wrote it down on this little notepad and gave them the piece of paper. It's more for paper that's gonna just be either given away or thrown out. If it's a friend, if it's a stranger, I love to have this notepad with me. That's everything for paper. This is more of a general category. I also carry things that are functional but that are more seasonally appropriate. This is a Kaweco tin box. When you buy a Kaweco fountain pen, it usually comes in this tin box with like a spongy mold inside. When you take out the sponge, it has so much space. I think it comes in multiple sizes, but this is the average size. This Kaweco tin box has this beautiful vintage design that's inspired by 1950s and 1960s math sets because the pens are so reliable and nice. It just makes sense that this design is also very good quality. So it's perfect for being recycled and repurposed. I have another tin box that I use to put my ink cartridges in, but this one is more like a beauty box that I put in my bag. When I leave the house, I don't usually need to fix my makeup except for lipstick and blush, or sometimes I just bring the lipstick and use it as blush. But in this box today, I have the Yves Saint Laurent New Balm. This is the Generation G in the shade Zip. Yeah, so lipstick and blush. Because in the winter my skin is usually a bit drier, I do tend to use a blush that's a bit balmy rather than a powder, and the lipstick too is not super dry, so that's perfect. I also like to carry with me a little perfume. This is Hermes Twilly in the travel size. It's so nice for the winters. I love when my scent is very seasonally appropriate, and this has a very kind of milky and powdery sort of scent. Perfect for the winter. It's kind of sweet but not too sweet. I use this tin box for so many things. Sometimes I just put my keys in here or my earbuds. What's in this tin box usually depends on the day. I also carry with me this Chanel Compact Foundation. I don't always use the foundation itself, but it's very nice to carry it because it has a mirror inside. I absolutely love when the scents that I wear kind of go together, whether it's the body oil with the perfume. I like when it's very cohesive, so I don't usually pick a hand cream that's super herbal if my perfume is not herbal as well. So I love to use this Aesop cream. This is the Rejuvenate Intensive Body Balm and it smells like orange and vanilla. It goes really well with the Twilly Hermes. This is super important in the winter when it's really dry. I find that in the spring and in the summer, I spend a lot of time with friends and family, so people that I know. I'm much more conscious of being surrounded by strangers in the fall and the winter when I'm spending so much time on campus with strangers. I do carry hand sanitizer with me throughout the year, but in the winter, I'm super conscious of it. And I use this Aesop Resurrection Rinse Free Hand Wash. It smells like orange as well, so it goes really perfectly with the hand cream. When I moved to Sweden, I would see this everywhere. Like all the girls were carrying this Vaseline tin with them, and it's not something that I've ever seen growing up in Italy, but I've also have never seen it when I lived in Canada. In Canada, we have those huge, like big tubs. They do also sell the small ones, but you mostly see people walking around with this big tub of Vaseline. I did a little bit of research when I moved here because I would see it everywhere. This Vaseline is the Nordic reformulation and it's called Clover. This design is so pretty and portable. I love to carry this with me as my lip balm. I think that it's not just the design that it's different, it's more like balmy and melty. It really does melt at the touch of your fingertips. The one in North America, I remember it being very jelly. Something else in this general category is this little box of Werther's Original candy. I love this candy. My friends tell me that they're more like grandma candy. I don't care. It's so good. And especially in the winter when the times are tough, you need emotional support candy in your bag. The ones that come in a long packaging, I used to see those a lot in Canada. Here they sell them in this beautiful box, which I do prefer. I remember growing up, my favorite candy was Ricola, and Ricola does come in this little box. When I saw it, I just had to get it. It was very nostalgic. Of course, my keys are in my bag, and I still have the same wallet that I used to carry. It's a bit dirty. I have to wash it. Love this wallet. It's the Carhartt Work in Progress Alec wallet in the color bourbon. The design of this wallet is a bit more like masculine. It's very functional, but that's exactly why I like it. So many compartments, so many pockets and zippers. Okay, I am a little bit blind, so I carry with me my glasses. I love to carry my glasses with me, but not just by themselves. I love to carry the case as well because sometimes I decide that I don't want to see. I have free will. I have the free will to say, you know what, today I'm not gonna see. I don't advocate for this. It's probably very bad for my vision. Like for a university presentation, when I get up there in front of people, I'm taking these glasses off. I don't want to see anyone. Most of the time I do need to see, especially when I'm biking, I need to be wearing my glasses, but sometimes I just, ignorance is bliss. This Gucci case is so beautiful. I love that it has two colors, that inside it's purple and outside it's blue. Beautiful velvet. I think if I had another pair of glasses, I would still go on eBay and buy the case by itself because it's such high quality. In the spring and in the summer, I usually always bring with me a small Nalgene water bottle, but in the winter, I prefer to leave the house. I don't usually put this in my bag, but I do leave the house with it in my hand. I carry my tumbler. This is a Stanley tumbler. It's the 16 ounce in this beautiful green color. I do go to cafes quite a lot, very often. Usually if I'm sitting down there, I'll just have it there. But if I'm going to the library, if I'm out and about running errands, I do love to bring my tumbler with me so that I can get my coffee to go in my own tumbler. Better for the environment, and also it stays warm for such a long time. In my bag, I usually love to carry a little tea bag. This is the Yogi Tea Classic Chai. This is her. You never know when you might need a cup of tea. Sometimes at the library, they have a kettle or a hot water dispenser, so I love to have a tea bag with me ready to go. It's crazy how a good cup of tea can make any day so much better. So I do my future self a favor and I put this in my bag. It just makes me think of that meme. A friend showed it to me. I'm gonna put it up on the screen, but I always feel like her. The last thing on my winter everyday carry is a pair of gloves. I had this yesterday when I was outside and it was such a lifesaver. I have the Paloma wool Peter gloves in khaki and I love these gloves. They're made of wool. They're super warm. I like that the length is pretty, like they're pretty long, so they keep your forearm warm without them being too long and uncomfortable. So I just usually tuck them inside my jacket, and they have this beautiful label embroidered and the color is beautiful. I just love Paloma wool as a brand. Their designs are so elegant. Something else that I love about these gloves is that they have these two long strands attached to each glove. So usually before I leave the house, I just tie them in a knot, and if I'm not wearing them, I'll have them hanging from my bag. And if say I get really cold or I'm biking and I do need to wear them, I just undo the bow tie, the knot, and I wear them. Very important in the winter to have a good pair of gloves that you love. I love winter. It's one of my favorite seasons. I love the snow. I love to go ice skating. I love a warm cup of coffee, wearing a scarf. Everything about the season is so dreamy, but it's also a tough time of the year because it's really cold and it gets dark so soon. It's in the winter that I need a little bit more of convincing myself to actually leave the house. I do, but it takes a bit more motivation. So to have a seasonal everyday carry that is very appropriate for winter itself is so important for me. It makes me so excited to leave the house. It sets me up for a really good day. I know that I have my tea bag if I need it. I have my gloves. I have my e-reader if I'm bored on the metro. I have my list of things to do written on paper. So I'm ready to leave the house and I have everything that I need and more. That more is so important in the winter. It's what makes me excited to go and have my adventure of the day. As I was saying, creating your own seasonal everyday carry, whether it's in the spring or in the winter, is not just about what the day has in store for you and what you need to face the day. And it's not just about the things themselves being beautiful, although that can be really important, and it is important for me. Basically, what I wanted to say is that you don't have to copy anyone's everyday carry. You can make your own. You can just create your own based on not just what you need, like what you actually need to face the day, whether it's your keys, your wallet, a list of things to do, based not just on aesthetics and beauty. The things don't have to be beautiful, but if it's important for you as it is for me, then of course it can be part of the process. But when you create your seasonal everyday carry, just make sure that you think about what you need to take care of your attention, your time, and yourself. If it means that you bring an e-reader, if it means that you bring a little diary, if it means that you bring some Vaseline, then that's perfect. It needs to be personal. The day itself is not just this time that you need to fill with productivity and leave the house and run from one place to another. Maybe you do need to run from one place to another, but you can do so while still taking care of yourself. And that's why I bring with me my tea, my digital audio player, to experience the day with presence rather than just going from one thing to another. On the metro, I like to retouch my makeup and read a few pages of my chunky book that I left at home, but I do have with me on my e-reader, and that's just really important. And of course, in the winter, it's so important to stay warm, so I have my beautiful gloves with me. And yeah, I just invite you to be mindful about what you leave the house with so that you make the most out of your day and make it as beautiful as it can be. These small things might seem unimportant, but when times are tough, when the winter is harsh, and when the days are so short, leaving the house knowing that you can have tea at the library, that you can listen to your favorite albums without being distracted, these are all things that are so heartwarming. So that's what I have for you today, and I hope you enjoyed my winter everyday carry, my seasonal everyday carry. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful winter. Bye bye.